How is it going today?
Hello.
Let's get to my Dwayne.
My name's Jasmine.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
I'm your host, Killer Keepstar.
YouTube has been here for 14 years. 14 years of evolution. This platform has grew a lot over its 14-year lifespan. We saw in 2017, the year of the diss tracks and the adpocalypse. A little bit of that helped shape this platform. We saw the old school YouTube. We saw Charlie Bit My Finger. We saw me at the zoo. We saw the evolution of dance. We saw everything. That's what YouTube was then. Now YouTube has become more like a TV site. You got YouTube creators creating shows, series, like I have been doing for the past God knows how long I have. Since 2015, I made this channel. It's been the best. It was a dream for me to have a YouTube channel, to have an audience, to show and tell my story. Even though some people's videos are meant to be newsworthy, like Drama Alert, Philip DeFranco, all those shows and news and drama and all of that has shaped this platform. And you guys cannot see that this platform is turning into a television. TV, everyone. Before there was YouTube, TV has been the most watched thing in history. Nowadays, people don't watch TV. People watch news on the internet, on YouTube. People watch sports on YouTube. The internet has turned YouTube into TV. You can search anywhere. The internet is the power, the key power of watching anything, searching up anything, and all that. Well, here's how YouTube became the internet's TV. In October 2010, Chad Hurley drops his position as YouTube CEO. Later on in the same year of October 29th, Salal Kamangar became CEO of YouTube, but was later on replaced on February 5th, 2014 to Google's supervisor of advertising, Susan Wojcicki. Susan Wojcicki made changes on the platform. In 2015, YouTube announces YouTube Red, an online subscription where you can watch videos on the go, listen to music anywhere. You can watch original YouTube Red shows and movies. Change is meant to happen. This is why YouTube has gotten a new face, a new CEO, to lead this brand into the future. She has done that with YouTube Red. YouTube also released YouTube Music, where it has to deal with YouTube Red. Instead of all the streaming movies and all that, you can listen to music anywhere on the go. Brands are meant to be changed. Every time on television you see brand changes, you see Time Warner Cable turning into Spectrum, you see a lot of branding change, logos change. YouTube has kept its original logo for years. Who knows, the logo might change in the future. But enough talking about Susan Wojcicki. Let's get to the opinions of the people. What they think. Why does YouTube change? Why is YouTube turning into television? And what do they think content creators are doing, and why YouTube is basically, and also the internet in general, is replacing items that has been there for years. So, let's go into the interviews.
My name is Clayton Tracy Sheasley III.
What do you think on YouTube in general?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think it's turning into television?
Well, I think it's trying to. YouTube was supposed to be a place where you just watch things people upload and everything, but now it's gone into, live TV and especially the Cobra Kai. I didn't get to watch it all, but that was a pretty good show. I think they're trying to be in there with regular TV, cable, and all that stuff, and we'll wait and see.
What do you think of content creators these days, like Logan Paul?
I don't like him. I don't like his brother either. Anybody that videotapes dead people and stuff, it's wrong. It's sick. They are not good. And I don't care what their apologies and you saved my career, bull crap. No, that's wrong.
So do you think YouTube is normal or not normal?
Well, it's just like everything. The internet is a necessary evil in our society. It was created that you can have everything on your fingertips. You can research and you can type in and find out all kinds of stuff. But also it breeds everybody out there to decide that they want to put their word out there and their opinions and stuff, and then other people will agree or disagree, and they follow them, and they do this and do that, and then it's just it is what it is.
With these content creators, they're encouraging their audiences into it. They make series that kids cannot understand what's real and what's fake. What do you think on that?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I really do feel that violent video games, violent movies, violent music, all kinds of other things taking a factor in what's happening in our society today. I also think that we've gone away from our morals. Back in the day, people sat around the dining room table and had meals and stuff. They talked about everything, and now everybody has to be on their dumb devices and playing with it and entertaining. No more conversations, no more thinking for oneself, no more having a good conversation and stuff. They're all behind the screen and stuff, and they think they're big and bad and tough. And you have a lot of bullying on the internet and the social media sites, and it's wrong. When I was growing up and stuff, if you had a problem, you can get away from it. You can get away from it at home on the weekends and stuff, but now you can't. It's 24/7, 365 days a year, and it's wrong.
What do you think parents should do for children under the age of 9?
Well, I think that the parents should be parents. They should regulate what they can and cannot do, how long they can and cannot do it for. Too many young kids nowadays just do what they want, say what they want, and think their opinions counts. They think they're adults, but they're not. They think they're intelligent, but they're not. You have to have both college, high school education, and also have worldwide education, and go out and do stuff and understand things before you can have an opinion. I think the parents should regulate, be parents, But the problem is a lot of this new generation of parents was not raised by the old way. They're raised by the new way of everybody, is entitled to their opinion, and everybody is supposed to get a trophy and all that other crap. I don't believe in it.
I have one more question for you. What do you think this whole internet thing? Do you think it's good? Or do you think it's just...
Well, like I said before, it's a necessary evil. The internet has been created to replace the old encyclopedias, the old libraries, the old index card, the Dewey Decimal System and stuff. You can have everything on on your touch. You can read, you can look up stuff, you can listen to music, you can do all kinds of stuff. But I think that it's also an evil where you have, you type in a word search and something else comes up and you're like, what in the world's that? I like reading books and having a book in my hand. Every once in a while I might want to have an audiobook, which is nice. I know how to look up information out of an encyclopedia. I know how to go to the library and go to the index cards and look up where to find books, and I think that, everybody should have an equal thing with everything, have the technology, it's great, but also it's something better to pull up a good book on a couch or a chair and wrap yourself in a blanket and lose yourself in your mind and everything.
All right, thanks.
No problem.
All right, state your name, sir.
Chase, aka Jupe.
All right. So our first question is, what do you think on YouTube? And do you think YouTube is turning into TV?
What do I personally think on YouTube? I don't think YouTube is, obviously YouTube has a lot of people that watch it, do it, and like it. But personally, I don't think that YouTube is doing the greatest that it could be doing. Is it turning into television? 1,000,000% yes, because every single YouTuber you find is doing a series. For us viewers, we like the series, and that's why they have to do anything to get views. They clickbait, do anything like that to get views. They make good titles, make good thumbnails. But when you do a series, a lot of people like series. They like watching television. So for instance, a regular show, WWE, has different not really series, but how do I say it? Episodes. So a series has episodes, and YouTube, they make it different episodes on a different series that they're doing, video series. And basically, for example, Jake Paul does the Scary Clown series, gets a lot of views, which actually people have reported that some kids are not liking it and some kids are liking it, mainly because Jake Paul does have a lot of viewers that are under the age of 5, maybe even 10. And basically, when they look at the clowns and they see what kind of things that the clowns are saying, which is series, obviously, it's turning to television, they don't really put rated R or this video has this type of language or something on that note, but that's not really what the subject, that's just something I'm trying to say. But yes, I do think that television, YouTube is turning to television, and I don't think YouTube's doing the greatest right now, but obviously a lot of people like it. It does have a lot of fame.
All right, so our next question is, what do you think on content creators these days? For example, of course, Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
What do I think? I think that they will do anything to get views, make money. I don't think it's like how it used to be, where people did it to like it. If they like something, they're gonna post. If they do something they like, they're gonna post it. But nowadays, you can't really do that, because you're trying to succeed on YouTube or do anything good on YouTube, you're gonna have to obviously get views. So content creators these days just do anything for views. They do clickbait, they make good titles, etc. So my personal opinion on the different content creators these days, I personally don't think that they do what they really want to, because obviously they have a job and most of their jobs are YouTube, and they don't want to do what they want to, because if they do what they want to, they know it's not going to get as many views. So they have to do what will get them the most views, and that's obviously clickbaiting or making a good title or doing a good thumbnail or something like that.
All right. Do you think YouTube is normal? With the changes it has been from day 1 to day 14, do you think YouTube is normal now? What are your thoughts?
Personally, I do not think that YouTube is normal from now to how it used to be. What I mean by this is basically the old YouTube, like I said, but I keep on repeating myself obviously, but like I said, the old YouTube, you could do whatever you wanted to and it doesn't really matter. Now, people are depending on YouTube as a job, as money, as how to get money, something like that. So when you try to get money, YouTube, older days, you can do whatever you want to. Minecraft City, come join, ... exclamation mark. Now it's like, scary killer clown kills wife, must watch, rated R, something like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you always have to have... Nowadays, it's all about the fame. Older days, you can really just do whatever you wanted to, what you liked to do. You could do it back then, but now it's all about fame and what makes money.
All right. With these content creators that are encouraging audiences by making, of course, series and making the audience or the kids, kids don't understand what's real and what's fake. What are your thoughts on that?
That's 100% correct, because when, another example, I'm just going to keep on putting this example out there, the Scary Clown series with Jake Paul, they don't know if those clowns are actually real when they're fake, and it could cause, obviously, nightmares. It could scare them because maybe Jake Paul's like their favorite YouTuber and Jake Paul's getting hurt, or because they don't know if it's real or fake, obviously, but most of us do know that it's, maybe fake, maybe real, you never know. But, I mean, obviously, if it was real, why are you recording it? But for the younger age audiences or any audiences that don't know if it's real or fake, I do personally think that they should maybe not be watching it, especially if they really like that YouTuber and they're doing a series like Killer Clowns, or they're doing a different type of series around that area, because they don't know if it's real or if it's fake. It's like their favorite YouTuber's getting hurt, or the clowns are real, or like kidnappings happen, or anything, etc. Like that would happen. So.
Also, for our final question here, what do you think parents should do for kids that are under the age of 9 when they're watching YouTube?
Personally, since how YouTube is turning out to what it's turning out to be, I do think that parents should be a little bit more precautious about what their kids watch. Mainly because nowadays a lot of younger kids are having phones, and that causes to having social media, and social media is basically like YouTube. And a lot of kids do use YouTube. So when you go to YouTube and you go through recommended, go through featured, go through who you subscribe, and you do see things like series, and maybe they're not appropriate for a 9-year-old, maybe they're not appropriate for whatever age they are, maybe even if they're 17, maybe obviously what kind of parenting you have, maybe it's not appropriate for them. So when you're scrolling through that kind of stuff, maybe your parents should look at your phone, make sure that you're not looking at anything bad, be a little more precautious what you watch, what you don't watch, and then your parents just need to be a little bit more like, hey, my son's doing this, I really don't think about it though, because, I'm so busy doing something else. So what I think about parents, they need to 1,000,000% put a lot more time to watch. Well, most parents, obviously. Some parents are, obviously, they know what they're doing, and they're going to make sure their kid doesn't watch anything that they shouldn't be watching. Or if it's like communities, maybe their community, like a neighborhood community, or something like a school community, or even a PlayStation community. They hear the thing, and they hear the audio in the background, or they see them watching it. Maybe they'll tell them, hey, that maybe that's not appropriate for your age, and I just think people need to be a lot more precautious about what kids watch on YouTube. So yeah.
All right. Thank you for doing this interview. You can plug your channel, whatever you want to do. So yeah, his channel will be in the link in the description of this thing. So thanks for joining on this documentary. So, all right, thanks. How's your day so far?
Season 6 of Fortnite's out, so a lot of grinding.
All right, so state your name and state your channel, pretty much.
My name is Dustin, and my YouTube channel is Dustin's MC.
All right, so our first question here. What do you think on YouTube? Do you think YouTube is turning into TV?
Honestly, I've felt that way for a long time, just because I've noticed myself watching more YouTube rather than sitting down and actually watching TV. And, like, a vlogger that I watch, I don't know if you've ever heard of Charles Trippy, CTFXC, but, like, his vlog, he's been doing this every day for, I think he's on, like, year 8 or year 7 or something crazy. He's never missed a day. But, like, his whole channel thing is called Internet Killed Television. And he talks about how YouTube is honestly, more mainstream now than ever. And I think there was a point in time, too, not too long ago, where, like, people were actually watching more YouTube rather than watching TV. Like, there was actually people canceling their subscription to cable to watch more YouTube, to watch more Netflix. And, with YouTube coming out with, like, YouTube TV and YouTube Red, where you can get, like, actual shows with some of your favorite entertainers, and just for a monthly price, it's actually cheaper than cable. So, yeah, I honestly think YouTube is is taking over.
So in our second question right here, what do you think on content creators these days? Like, for example, Jake and Logan Paul.
Honestly, content creators nowadays, back when I started YouTube and really had an interest in YouTube, because like this channel that I have now that is my main focus, I've had channels prior to this. Collectively, I've been doing YouTube for close to probably 7 or 8 years now. And back when I got into it, it was more lucrative. Like, people really didn't know, like that you could really make money off of it. It was just kind of something people did for fun. And I think now people do anything they can to get views and to get clicks and just try to become internet famous. And honestly, I can understand why. I mean, they are producing more media for us to watch and consume, but at the same time, I feel like certain people like Logan Paul and Jake Paul go about it the wrong way. Certain things. Obviously, I'm not going to touch too much on the Logan Paul controversy, but, I still firmly believe that at some point in his head, he knew that what he was doing was wrong, but he continued to do it anyway because he felt the need that he had to put it out there to get clicks and to get views. And I don't know, stuff like that just bothers me. Or these people that go out of the way and, just act ignorant to other people just for content. Stuff like that bothers me.
Yeah, wow. Like, every time I go on the TV, you either see like a lot of YouTubers like going on to like news telling them that they're like having a controversy, or they're just doing a commercial for like back to school, like what I believe Superwoman was on a back to school ad for Target. Like, what do you think on that? Like,
see, stuff like that's cool because, that's someone that doesn't make controversial content. You know what I mean? She, has done the same type of content throughout her time on YouTube, and she appeals to such a young demographic, that I think that if she's going to, put her face out on a brand like that, it's just going to drive more people to go there. Stuff like that I think is awesome. But, the people that are doing this just to get on big shows, like Logan Paul was all over the internet, obviously, for his controversy, and all over big talk shows and stuff like that. That's what he wanted. And it was the same thing with Jake Paul when that shooting happened in Parkland, Florida. He, made this whole, mini doc about how he was going to go help those people and all this and that. And he made one video on it, and you've never heard anything about it ever since.
Also, I think he did like a series on, I think he did like a documentary for the victims from the hurricane in Texas. He went down there and helped out.
Yeah, and you know what? The sad thing is he did that just because he knew that people would watch. I don't think he did it sincerely out of the kindness of his heart. I truly believe he did it because he knew that it was going to be content.
Yeah.
I feel like there was different motives. Now, personally, if that was me and I decided to go to Parkland, if I was a big YouTuber, I decided to go to Texas, I wouldn't film that. I would go and I would help people and donate to organizations to help people rather than filming it for content to put up just to get more money. I would use my platform for good and not for creating content, if that makes any sense.
All right, so our third question is, do you think YouTube is normal?
I mean, nowadays, yeah. I have friends that are starting to create content like you. You're starting out. You're growing now, you're growing at a steady pace, and you actually have family that supports it. Your mom's behind it, your dad's behind it, you have people in school that support what you do. And I think nowadays that's a lot more normal. And I actually have a friend who lives in the UK who just started making content. He's about to hit 50 subs. And his parents are like, look, you're old enough to get a job, but if this is something you want to do and you thoroughly enjoy it, we'll help you financially. We'll do what we have to do to support you as our kid and what you want to do. It obviously was a lot different for me because when I started making money from YouTube, my mom didn't believe it. My parents were always like, no, you have to get a job. Video games are never going to pay the bills and stuff like that. And clearly, that's changed. I still do work a normal job, obviously, just because, I do have a lot more stuff that I have to take care of financially. I do have the new car and stuff like that. Obviously, YouTube, yes, I get paid a decent amount, but it's not enough for me to live comfortably. But yeah, I think YouTube nowadays is completely normal. I feel like people have a lot more support behind them than what they did back then. Like I said, it was completely different for me. When I was buying my recording equipment, because YouTube is an expensive hobby, and I'm sure you know that.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's very expensive, and doing the whole gameplay plaything, buying a console, buying a capture card, buying a microphone, I have honestly probably like tens of thousands of dollars wrapped up in it. And to explain that to my mom, who was not behind it at all, was very difficult for me to like be able to say, look, this can go somewhere for me. This can be something. They just didn't understand. But now she has more of an understanding of where it can go because she's seen the growth and she's seen the money come in, physically seen it. And I think that made a big difference. But yeah, YouTube's totally normal now.
Wow. That was a great explanation for the third one. So our fourth question here, with these content creators that like they are encouraging audiences by making series and making the kids or the audiences, basically their fan base, they can't tell if it's what's real and what's fake. Like with Jake Paul and the Killer Clown series he did over the summer. Like, what do you think on that?
Yeah. I think that's manipulation. Like, I don't know if you've seen the video too where Logan like faked getting shot in his apartment, like when there was people like out, like like the whole. I don't watch Jake Paul. I've always kind of like I'm not subscribed to any of the Paul brothers. I honestly can't stand either one of them, if we're being honest. But I feel like I was focused more on Logan just because of the controversy that surrounded him and the suicide force. Because I lost a friend to suicide, and that's exactly why I have. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll show you. I have a tattoo on my wrist because I lost a friend to suicide. That's something to me, that shouldn't have been exploited. And if I was to put I want everybody watching this right now to just, if you've seen the video of Logan faking basically his murder in front of young kids, put yourself in his shoes. You're looking out the window, you see a bunch of kids that are, mostly probably under the age of 10, to see something like that is traumatizing. To see somebody you look up to and somebody you idolize and somebody you strive to be when you're older, something like that happen, it's absolutely traumatizing. And, Jake Paul and the whole Killer Clown thing, it's pure manipulation, because he knows if he uploads that, people are going to watch, people are going to believe. There was literally videos of kids crying that uploaded to their channels, crying because they thought Jake Paul was dead. They thought Erica Costell was dead. They thought these people were kidnapped and being tortured, and he drug it out because that was more clicks, more ad revenue, and it's pure manipulation. And it's honestly, it's disgusting. I love YouTube, and I will always stand behind YouTube, and I will make content until the day that I die or that I physically can't anymore. But to see stuff like that ruin a platform that when I started was nothing like that, it kind of sucks. It kind of hurts. From being a creator, to see that that's what people, want to be sucked into, it's kind of hurtful. Wow.
But going off from my question, you see different content creators, for example, McJuggernuggets made the Psycho series that spanned since 2011 and ended, I believe, in 2015, and people thought that was real. And then when the ending, when you saw that it was all fake, people still thought it was all real.
Yeah. And then that's another thing too. And again, McJuggernuggets has been doing it for years. He is one of the YouTube OGs, if you ask me. And he had the idea before anybody else started doing it. But I think sometimes it's gone too far. Now, I did watch some of the Psycho series. I did kind of keep up with it. And I think it was fine, and it was kind of funny and harmless until the point where he acted like he shot his dad. That right there, I think, that pushed the envelope. And I think when that happened, if you notice, not shortly after that happened is when he decided to end the series.
Yeah,
because there was a lot of backlash there. Whereas people like Logan and Jake, they're really the only examples I can give. I mean, there's plenty more. I was actually just watching a thing about these two kids that had the channel, I can't remember what it's called, but they had 4.1 million subscribers, made this video telling their fans that they were dying.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They had to quit YouTube because they were dying. Yeah.
I saw that video.
And then all of a sudden, and then they went to a chiropractor in the U.S. and now they're magically cured and not dying. And it's stuff like that. That people when enough is enough. I think that's the problem because when you have a younger audience and younger fan base like Jake and Logan and like that channel, it's so easy to twist and manipulate those young minds, and and they can just keep dragging it and dragging it and dragging it out. And then you have people like PewDiePie, who's always been kind of controversial, in his own way. But then again, it's PewDiePie. People know, okay, you can't take PewDiePie seriously all the time. But why can't people realize that with these Paul brothers and with these other channels that are faking illnesses and faking all this stuff for fame?
No, that
I just don't understand.
yeah,
It's a completely different time on YouTube now than what it was. I guess I still live in those glory days of when things were just all about Call of Duty sniping montages.
I agree with you. I like OG YouTube better than new age YouTube.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like-
like look at Shane Dawson and back on the skits he used to do, and
Oh wow,
it was just such a simpler time back then, and now it's just
turning into
full of
chaos.
egotistical people that only care about money and fame and fortune, and it's absolutely disgusting. But that's the world we live in. I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. And our final question here: what do you think parents should do for their kids who are under the age of 9 while watching YouTube?
Just monitor their content as much as possible. I know they have the YouTube Kids, but I remember, I'm sure you remember that whole thing too with that, where there were channels like doing really perverted doing things, but they were dressed up like Spider-Man and Elsa, and like, oh, it's kid friendly, but there was like a lot of messed up stuff behind that. I mean, really, just monitor what your kids are watching. I don't think that they should necessarily hold their kids back and keep content from them. I mean, kids go down the rabbit hole of YouTube all the time. They see one video, they click, another video gets recommended, they click, and it goes on and on. And I think, a lot of the times kids can learn. They can see something and say, oh, hey, wait, that's wrong with this. I shouldn't believe that. So I really don't think that parents should necessarily hold kids back from watching content, but I think they should monitor the content. Maybe let them only watch so many hours a day of certain videos or whatever. I know if I was a parent, I would definitely see who my kids are watching, and stuff like that. And I would, as a parent too, if my kids are like, oh, hey, look, or I noticed my kids watching like a certain channel, I would check out that channel and see what they're about before I would let my kids necessarily watch them. Like don't hold them back, but at the same time, kind of give them that freedom, but monitor it, on a safe level.
Wow, thank you for doing this interview, and also reframing back to the last question. I remember seeing this one video where kids can actually, if they type in, say for example, Jake Paul, like in space on the YouTube Kids app, nothing. If they just not use the space, and then Jake Paul pops up on the YouTube Kids app.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah, kids
And
learn.
I think a lot of the times too, I don't know if you know this, but tags, when you tag videos, a lot of the times too, and it could be on the YouTube Kids app because Jake Paul might put Jake Paul in the tag, but keep it together, no space. So when kids type that, obviously it's going to pop up more, you know what I mean? Because a lot of kids don't really know how to type sometimes. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy. There are so many ways to beat the YouTube algorithm too, and people exploit that as well, which is wrong. Obviously, some of those kids channels, there was a big controversy with those, but yeah, it's crazy. YouTube is insane.
Yeah, so thank you once again
No problem.
for doing this.
No problem. It was a pleasure. I've been looking forward to this. So.
Yeah.
And your mom's been like, get a hold of Clayton, get a hold of Clayton. I'm like, I know, I will. We got to find time.
Yeah, so thank you, and hopefully we can do more like this in the future, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
I
right.
can't wait to see the finished documentary, man.
All right, thanks. See ya.
Yeah. See ya.
Peace.
After listening to each interview, they gave their own opinion. Dustin nailed every point. I'm just speechless on how YouTube, how he explained how YouTube has been changing, and the old YouTube everybody misses. Now the new age of YouTube, what I said, it's getting into chaos and getting out of hand. But while the old YouTube it's just there. Nothing has ever happened to the old YouTube. It's still here. And also, Choop gave Like I mentioned the killer clown thing with Jake Paul. Both Choop and Dustin nailed it on the head. And also my dad, he's been around for like 41 years. He's 41. He sees it what everybody does. Like everybody, like in today's era, does not sit at the dinner table and eat. They go different places. They watch YouTube. They watch movies. There's a lot happening. And after listening to them, it's kind of interesting how this platform and how every other aspects of social media has affected our lives today. But in the past, it has not affected. Like, everybody's sitting at the table, having fun, and now people are just at the table texting, watching videos. So, let's move on to the next topic. The YouTubers. These YouTubers basically make content for y'all, for us, the viewer, to entertain you and to intrigue you into what they are uploading. It's just breathtaking how they can express their feelings. They express their own opinions on other people's videos. And also, let's just dive right into it. Okay. When you think of YouTube stars, you think of them like actors. They're putting on a show for you guys to enjoy. Say, for example, McJuggernuggets. McJuggernuggets, one of the most amazing channels out there, making videos, making series. You might be familiar with a series he made a really long time ago called the Psycho series. He has a full playlist of his dad going berserk. And you feel the emotions of Jesse Ridgway, the character. When you look at a TV show, you watch it, you get intrigued. When an intense scene comes, you feel that emotion. That is what his series was about. Emotion, a emotional roller coaster ride. YouTube as a whole has a lot of these YouTube stars making entertaining content. Making cooking videos, making ASMR videos, you name it. Those YouTubers are merging into TV. Like, they're both similar. People who get you emotional. That's what TV is. You feel emotional, sometimes not emotional. It can affect you in many different ways. Like everything you watch on TV and on YouTube can hit you. You can feel how they're feeling. You can feel the pain. It's just the emotion. The emotion brings out the person in you. The content creators are basically showing us your emotions. When Markiplier's niece died, you feel his pain. Everybody has the same emotion. Crying, angry, upset. Everybody has the same feelings. That is why YouTube creators are creating content for us to feel happy, to be intrigued on their content. And it's so surprisingly how they do it so well. It's just breathtaking on how they use cinematography, music. It can affect you in different ways. And without these YouTube stars and without TV, YouTube wouldn't be in the same place it is today. And with that being said, that's how YouTube creators and YouTube stars want you to be. The emotion. Remember that. Emotion. That is why content creators want you to watch their content. They want you to have emotions, just like TV wants you to have emotion. And you as the viewer can share it to anybody. And it's just beautiful how they do it. It's clever. It's beautiful. And you watch magic on your screen. And that's just YouTube. On this journey, I learned a lot. Like researching on Susan Wojcicki when she ran YouTube, like how the line of command changes over the years and how she made YouTube, how she formed YouTube into a new era. Okay, let's do this. After learning a lot from what the interviewers said and also the research I had, it's just amazing how a woman who came in as a Google ad executive turned to YouTube CEO, and how she changed YouTube and bringing it into a new era. She introduced YouTube Red. Susan introduced us to YouTube Live or YouTube TV. And what the interviewers said, their own opinions, they are all right. Nobody these days watch TV no more. They watch YouTube. YouTube is basically TV, but it's mobile. It's on the internet. You got news sites on there. You got your sports. You got drama channels. That's why YouTube is forming into a beautiful thing. Should people worry that YouTube is turning into TV? I think it's your own opinion. And how YouTube stars, how they make us feel. They make us feel emotional. They have us intrigued in what they make. Their series, their videos, their everyday lives. They bring it to us. And us as the audiences can reflect and can feel what they do. It's just beautiful. And I want to say thank you for joining me. I want to say thank you for joining me on this ride, this beautiful, beautiful ride of how YouTube is the internet's TV. My name is Clayton Sheasley, and I want to say thank you. And I'll see you in the next one.